So in this one, just from a really bad, low quality piece of clip art, and if you look in, you can zoom in and see that it's just awful pixelated. It's like 20 DPI or something, 20 by 20 DPI. So anyway, it's really bad, but I want to be able to use this for a yard sign, and this is just something that we're donating for the school. So they want to go from this to yard sign. So basically what we're going to do is I think we're going to get rid of the hat probably and just use the text only. Probably I'm going to have to come back in and just make my own circle. So one way, of course, that you could do this is to take your Bezier tool and just start tracing and just do it like that. But that takes a lot of time and a lot of concentration, and I get a little burned out once I get in here and start editing all these nodes and doing all that. So what I would do, what I've done is I went ahead and I took this, and if you press F10, it's going to take you to your shape tool, and then you can come in here and you can actually double click. It'll add in nodes, and you can kind of just come in here and set this. So I'm basically eliminating all of the background and getting rid of all the junk that we're not going to use, because we want to make this as simple as possible so that when we go to convert it, it won't take as much time and it'll be more accurate. So that's what I've done. I've gotten rid of all those extra nodes. I could have come in here and got a little tighter, but I'll end up just coming back and deleting a few things. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to go, once I have it edited, I'm going to go bitmaps, convert to bitmap, and I told it CMYK or RGB, doesn't really matter. And then, so what that's going to do is once you've done that, you'll see that your bitmap, if you hit F10 again, oh, I didn't do it yet. Let's see. Well, see how if I hit F10, you can see all these nodes. Once I go bitmaps, convert to bitmap, we're going to change this to CMYK, say OK, and now if I hit F10 again, you're going to see my nodes are back to these four corners. So that means I've converted it to a bitmap. All right. Now I can go effects, adjust, and I'm going to go hue saturation, and I'm going to really oversaturate this a lot. And then if you want to bring the lightness down a little bit, you can. That'll just give you a little lighter background so that we won't be converting so much once we get ready. What we want to do is, sorry, my computer's going pretty slow here. So I'm going to zoom in, and you're going to see it's going to look pretty wonky, no pun intended, here with the Willy Wonka thing, but it looks pretty bad. So I'm going to undo what I did with the lightness, and let's just try it like it is here. So what I'm going to do is go bitmaps, convert to bitmap, and this time I'm going to make it black and white at 300 DPI and see what happens. Okay, so that's pretty good. Everything looks solid inside of there, and that's what we want. So yeah, if you zoom in, these edges are going to be pretty bad, but we're going to round that over because it doesn't need to be perfect. And I might even be able to keep this hat. It's not awful. But we want to make it as big of a sign as we possibly can, so I'll probably delete that hat. All right, so now once I've got this, now I can trace this bitmap, and I'm always going to go outline trace, like logo or detailed logo, and all that's going to do is just give you better settings as far as your detail and your smoothing. So you can see the green bar down here, it's working. Alright, so that looks pretty good. If you want, you can zoom in on it so you can really see what it looks like. So you can see, there's kind of some extra stuff in here. So you can say smoothing, and then it's going to do its thing again. And it'll smooth some of this out. You can also say a little less detail. And you'll start to lose this stuff. But you just got to go a little bit at a time. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. It's going to be more nodes to cut, but it'll be okay. All right. The only thing I see that's going to be a problem is I've lost this now that I did that. So it's important to go back and look, and basically you just want to bring it down to our image comes back here. Alright, so I just pulled my detail all the way up, and then I'll just change my smoothing a little. So that's just going to be ugly, but you know, I'm giving them a free sign, and this is the original here, so this is, I mean, it's pretty doggone close to the original, but I've got smoother edges. Alright, so I'm going to say OK, and it's going to convert that. I'm going to ungroup it, and then I'm just going to get rid of some of this other stuff that we don't need in here. And I'm going to view it in wireframe just to see what we've got, so you can see there's a bunch of little extra leftover pieces. So once you put it in wireframe, you can come back in and see all these little pieces and get rid of them. And that way you've got a good clean graphic. And you know, I could keep this, but I'm not going to, just because I want as much room. We're just making a yard sign so that people driving around town see that the play is happening and they can come support it, and hopefully they can make a little money for the PTA or whatever they're doing this for. Alright, so I'm zoomed all the way in. You can see there's a couple little pieces left, and I'm just using my selection tool, drawing a box around those. Alright, so I think that's good to go. I'm going to group it back together, center it, go back to normal or enhanced, and so now I've got a cuttable graphic. But remember, we lost our top of our eye here. So I'm going to take that, and I'm actually going to do two of them. I just copied it and pasted it on there. I'm going to take this second one, and I'm actually going to trim this. Well, I could have done front minus back, and then delete it, and then that's going to give me a nice clean little thing there. And then I'm going to copy this color here. So if you right click on this and drag it, you'll notice you get a copy fill here. That's a great little shortcut. And that's it, that's done. So now make sure we got it grouped and centered, and then now I've got this extra information from them about the pricing of the tickets and all that stuff. So